Dude, we're here to make enemies, all right?
I do not think it was a tier 1 deck, though.
Yeah. You know, this is a hot take, and a lot of people have been talking about this, but we don't have that many good deck builders in this game right now.
I agree. This is such a disappointing podcast for everyone.
How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to the Team True Podcast, a Grand Archive TCG podcast. I'm your host, Isaac. Flawless.
Wow.
Join
First
with
take.
me.
Definitely
First
the first take.
Join with me. Co-host, Terry.
That's me.
Terry.
Team True Terry. I don't have anything interesting to say today.
It's a World 2025 runner-up.
Oh, nice. That is who I am.
They usually make a noise.
Does that work?
And the other co-host, Team True Caven.
I'm just a allies player. Confirmed.
Oh, true. Confirmed, actually.
Yep. Topped regionals without water allies.
Oh,
so
true.
back to my roots, dude. I'm just an
back
allies
to
player.
You missed it.
Yep.
Yeah, you're like,
Oh, dude, I could not get enough. I'm so glad to be playing allies
oh,
again.
good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Well, some people might be here just for one thing in general, and that's pretty much what we're going to talk about, which is the Rile ban and kind of like the meta and what will occur from that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think that's definitely what we're going to spend most of the day talking about.
Yeah.
I guess maybe we can touch on Taipei and the decks that did well, and we'll talk about that a little bit. And we can talk about the regionals that happened this weekend.
and say thank you to the sponsor of this podcast, Weaves of the Shore.
Weaves of the Shore.
Thank you so much for
We love you.
sponsoring the podcast. That way I don't have
You
to
rock.
say it later on or put anything
Yeah, yeah.
in it. So there you go.
Perfect.
Let's just get this one out of the way really quick. Terry and I went down to Florida for the regionals.
We did.
Don't want to spend a ton of time on it. We both played Water Allies. We both didn't really enjoy Water Allies.
No.
And I topped. You got very close to topping.
Yeah, bubbled.
10th. I lost in round 1. I didn't think I was going to top. Really good players there. Really good people there. Had a fun time.
Yeah.
Love Florida.
Yeah, bunch of Rile decks.
There were a lot of Rile decks. Yep. And yeah, that was that. So
Died to Oath of Sakura.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was my
Doesn't
highlight of
happen
my
every day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's some spicy lists there for sure.
I tell you what, I'm very glad to not play allies anymore for the most part. Suited, okay, I love suited, you know that, but ally decks in general, I'm happy to be moving past.
Yeah,
that.
I think if I was getting into Grand Archive as a newer player, I would
amazing.
love playing allies.
So strong.
Yeah, but just the amount of time that we play Grand Archives now, it's just like
Something different.
I know what this does. I want to play. I want to play a fancy new deck.
That's
you know,
why I
like
Geldis.
yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. But anyways, that's Florida.
Uphill.
Done.
Yeah, easy.
Ascent Taipei. It was definitely something we should talk about.
None of us went to.
Yes.
Yeah, we were not there.
Went to. However,
a lot of California people did.
a lot of California. Noel from Chess Club.
Yep.
Hanky from Europe.
Hanky and Asuna.
Yep.
They
were both there.
Asuna was there.
Yep, they were
I
both there.
never saw him.
Made day 2, I think.
I don't know
Hanky
for
did
sure.
not. Hanky scrubbed out like the not goat he is.
No, that's what happens when he plays
Dude, we're here
Luxon.
to make enemies, all right?
No.
Like
He
We've
played
been too nice.
So he posted on Twitter, just a little lore for
Yeah,
y'all that weren't there, or X, I guess. He posted on X, as like a meme. Hey, if this post gets 100 likes in the next
that's right.
10 minutes or something like that, I'll play Luxem at Ascent Taipei.
Yeah.
And then
the
Jun
deck that he hates the most.
he hates it more than anything. If you didn't know that, Hanky hates Luxem. And so Jun was like, bet. Promoted the crap out of it. And lo and behold, it happened. So Hanky stuck to his word.
Yeah.
No one can say he's not a man of his word.
Yep.
Because he went to Ascent Taipei and played Luxem.
Flew from Europe to Taipei to play a deck that he hates and didn't get good results with. Because when you play a deck that you hate, not gonna be a good time.
He
But
played it at both events through the scrubbed out too, I think.
oh really?
Oh, wow.
I think he lost I think he was joking around losing just under 200 elo this weekend.
Yeah.
So he went from
That's
top
what
top 6.
You just do what I do and not play.
That's the
You don't
secret.
lose anything.
That's what I should have done.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that's definitely what I should have done.
578 person event.
That's awesome.
Huge.
That's
really
insane.
cool to see.
Yeah.
We've had 2 Taipei events previously. 1 Ascent, 1 Nats.
Yep.
And obviously Nats is different, so I guess I shouldn't even mention that. But MRC Ascent Taipei, one that we all went to, was under 300 players, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. It was right around. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was at the time. I think it was the largest ascent we had had.
270 or something. Like that.
I'd have to go look again. I remember it being
thought-
right around 300.
Yeah.
So somewhere in there.
Maybe
And then
286 or
and then their Nats was also the biggest Nats, I believe, too. When we went back
Yes.
there,
Yeah.
the amount of players.
Yeah,
there. It was like a
yeah,
huge
yeah,
Nats,
yeah.
like
It was,
300 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all
Um,
scrubbed out.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We also
It's just
we're
cool to
washed,
see
not just like the goat. No, wait. Sorry.
It's all right, dude. We had our year, all right?
all the goats in the game just washed.
Yeah.
But
Not Sean. Shout out to
not
Sean.
Sean. Yeah.
Great showing with a really cool CL list, which
Yeah.
I guess, why don't I just talk about that right out the gates, huh? Why don't we talk about this?
Yeah.
So people were talking all weekend, and they were like, I'm always on the Discords, and I was in the chat watching the stream and everything, and people were like, Regal Inquisition, like, what is this card? Like, I mean, I know that card's good, but I was like, people were like, why do people think that should be on the watch list? Because it's people watch. It was like I don't know what round it was. Day one, Sean played on stream.
Round two.
Was it round 2?
Yeah.
He played against Jin. Rest in peace, that Jin player.
Rip.
I feel so bad for him. Played against this like fire control CL that one of their main win cons is just milling them out with Regal Inquisitions and keep playing them. And you got to see just a masterful use of how Seal can just break timing so much, because he was just like letting his opponent draw and then or like use GCR in recollection and things like that. And he's like, yeah, and then Regal him on his turn and get rid of all the stuff that he was going to do on that turn.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
And like, so the Jin player, what the Jin player ended up doing and their game plan in game 2 was to just not do anything and hold up counter spells, which obviously, unfortunately, that's not going to get you there. But how do you fight that off when you're a Jin player? There's nothing you can do.
Yeah. So
like, Genbu is your worst matchup. And this does Genbu's thing better with Rile.
Yeah.
So it was like,
more easily,
and they're gonna get so much more advantage.
Less RNG.
Yeah. They're just gonna go up to the top and do their thing, and
So,
it was a cool deck.
Mill Out CL was a deck that I really wanted to make work. We haven't been playing as much, so I brought it to like locals once. Very different list than Sean's. I was in water trying to combo with like delusional vapors and stuff. Not good. But I was like, yo, this deck is sick. I really want to like mess with Regal Inquisition CL. So when I saw, or you added me and said, dude, Sean's playing like a deck that you would love right now. I popped into the stream and I saw like, what he was on and stuff. And then I saw the matchup and I just left because I was like, I really want to see this gameplay, but it's just, I know how this is going to go. So RIP Jin player, that's a rough one, but it was really cool to see Sean make it all the way to top 8. So like, just, I mean, genuinely like big shout out to him. Really cool innovation and good piloting.
Yeah, because he ended the day 1-7-2, which is a good record. But like one loss.
Oh, 7-1.
7-1-2.
No, 7-2.
7-2. Yeah, it was 7-2.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said 1-7-2.
He ended the day 1.
Oh,
Oh, it was maybe it was just the spacing. How you said
it. Day 1, 7-2.
And then didn't lose another game.
Then just one out from there. And then ID this last round.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, really solid because one loss. If you go X3, I don't think you made top 8.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I was telling Caven that there was a Fractals player that like won their win and got in at 6-3 and then went undefeated day 2 and bubbled out.
That's
bubbling
a wild
at
place
33
to be
points.
at.
It's
So that's pretty brutal. That's pretty brutal. Well, I mean, when your day 2 is over 100 players.
I know. It was 130 something players, right?
I can't remember, but it was a lot.
It was around 130 players, I think.
So like, basically you're playing a 7-round regional day 2, but they're only doing 5 rounds.
Yeah.
So like, if you think about that, it makes sense why people were bubbling and why things didn't actually work out.
That's crazy.
And obviously they're trying their best and trying to figure out the best way to do it too, because they did 5 rounds instead of 4 rounds.
Yeah.
And day 1 was and then day 1 was 9 rounds.
Yep. It was 14 total rounds.
So more rounds than we've ever seen. Which is good. It needed it. So that's great.
Because I imagine how brutal it would have been if some X2s were bubbling out, right? Like, so definitely still good structure and everything. Just a new situation for us to be finding ourselves
and
in,
I'm glad they like this is happening now where it was just barely an issue because there was only a couple players that found themselves in that situation, which sucks, obviously.
Right.
But Aki is right around the corner, which is going to be even bigger than this.
I mean, they're adding 100 tickets. That's what we saw.
And I believe it was sold out at 800, and now they're adding 100 more.
I think so.
So,
which makes sense because 570 whatever up to 1,024 players is the exact same. Like rounds.
Yep.
So they don't actually need to change anything if they felt like this one worked well, and it seemed like most people.
It did, I think. Yeah.
It's as the game grows, which it's such a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So we won't dive into the meta analysis too long of Taipei, even though it is a major event that just happened. We are already in a new format because of the Rile ban and stuff. But I want to just briefly mention. Winsiru won it all, which is crazy because we've never had Winsiru win a major event. We have had it seen fairly good success. A lot of day 2.
A lot of day 2s and a lot of like tops in a regionals.
A lot of regional tops, a lot of day twos at a sense, not many high level tops. So it's a very good, consistent deck to get you far in a tournament, but hasn't been able to close it out yet. And it closed it out, which is surprising because of how much Tristan was there too. Just really cool to see.
Yeah, definitely.
3 different Fire Crux lists in top 8 as well.
That's pretty cool.
One of them more focused less on Onsol and more on Ascensions, which is a direction that I was giving a lot of coaching clients of mine heading into that direction. I think it's a really strong direction. Obviously changes now post Rile ban.
Yes.
And then a Wind Boots OTK, which is really cool and also terrifying to see in top 8
because it's a spirit only champion.
They did not play a champion.
They have a level 1 in the side, but in the main, just your spirit and draw and utility.
It's a deck that basically always has a 10% chance of getting rid of their biggest win con.
No, well, you saw they did exactly what I was talking about. I don't know if it was on a podcast or whatever it was.
Okay.
Which is Draft of Stamina and Concealed Marksman, where you go, if you start with those 2 cards in your starting hand and then any of the, make your unit distant, you can go turn 1 Draft of Stamina or draw. I think it's main deck Dan called me out and said it's specifically, not publicly, but I'm saying now he did it's now public that it is pronounced draft apparently.
That's weird.
Yep. So I was like, okay, I'll take your word for it because it's main deck Dan and I love that dude. So but yeah, so you play that turn 1, turn 2, you just hard bring out the boots. And then you play Concealed Marksman. You make it distant. You pop boots on it. That thing swings for 9 twice with Draft of Stamina that wakes an ally, and then you kill someone because they're at 15.
Yeah, it's very good.
So,
it is very explosive. I played against this deck in Florida. And in game 1, I dealt with his allies because I played Lunette on turn 1 and he couldn't beat that. And then in game 2. He went he just went Mad Hatter and I hit his boots. And he went stuck his hand out and I was like,
oh my gosh. Yeah, I think that list made it, you could definitely
more consistent.
Yeah, you can go for the high roll, but you don't have to. You can play like turn 2, turn 3. You're gonna.
They only play 2 Mad Hatters.
Yeah.
Like they're not all in on Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
Well, cool to see. Then I'll be honest. I didn't study the list very hard.
It's like this is my only shot. If I play Mad Hatter here, get it out, pop stuff, and swing everything. Yes, then I'm gonna go for it. I'm dead
crazy to see it get top 8 in an almost 600 person event. So mad props the pilot for that. I've forgotten what the other top 8 decks were. It was
Sirius Suzaku
Boots,
by Pro-Am,
Suzaku, 3 Onsols,
2 CLs.
2 CLs. That's it. So we had an Advent CL.
That's right. Yeah.
Very standard CL list, and then Sean's CL, which was very different and really cool to see. You know, a lot of the CL cards that personally I've been like, dude, this is a good card.
Grim
This should be
Pastiche.
seen more play. Grim Pastiche, Conflagration Trounce. Even cards like that. Like there were a lot of lists in Sean's deck that I was like, yes, these are cards that should be seen.
Was it playing
play.
Flamme Sorcel? Or
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I was curious.
Because
I was Rile, I guess.
Yeah. I think going forward, if you wanted to try a deck like Sean's, you still could, and you just replace some of the Spectre package with Flamme Sorcel. It's going to be a little slower, but it does give you more room because you're taking out this combo value engine, which, by the way,
perfectly.
Video later on this week.
Today.
It's already or yesterday.
2 days.
2 days ago.
No.
What?
A video later this week is going to be a CUR sponsor video from our Patreon discussing Spectres.
Yeah, that might be a Patreon video.
Or is it Patreon or a YouTube?
It'll be a Patreon or a YouTube video.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yet, so
look for it soon this week.
Yeah.
What's the?
If you don't see it, it's because you're not a member of either YouTube.
YouTube memberships are live.
Or Patreon.
Yeah, be a member.
I don't know if we ever announced that.
Nope.
We just kept saying coming soon.
There's like 5-6 videos up for it now.
Yeah, YouTube membership is live. So if you don't like Patreon, you can go join the YouTube membership, get some extra content there, help support us as we are all trying to make this our main career. So.
Yes.
What was the
I'm
on a tangent.
That's cool.
You know,
like
like old like Disney movies, like from VHS. When you put it in, they'd always do like the pre-roller ads for like other Disney movies.
Yeah,
previews.
The previews. What was it was like that voice was like coming soon to was it to theaters or to
to theater? Yeah,
was it to theaters?
To a theater near you.
Was that to a theater near you? I wasn't sure if it was
coming soon to a theater near you.
Yeah, that one.
Something like that.
Well, I always thought that, but then
Is that what it is?
See, I don't know if it was or was it to like.
Are we having the what is it?
Yeah,
the Mandela effect.
Yeah, that's why I don't know.
I think what's happening around it never existed.
But yes, something. Probably the most important.
Have you ever seen the movie Shazam?
with
Oh no.
Is it Shaquille O'Neal or is it?
Oh well.
Is it Shaquille O'Neal or is it
MJ?
Oh my
Michael
gosh,
Jordan.
I can't remember. No, not Michael Jordan.
Oh,
anyway, we're talking about the Mandela effect.
I
That's
thought
why.
it.
Apparently, it doesn't exist.
Coming soon to theaters, just to theaters, not near you.
I could have swore they said
Coming
near you.
soon to theaters,
I think they
near you.
I think they said near you. If you guys remember that, or you have the sound clip, send it to us.
Just pulled it up and didn't play it.
This.
That's the one.
No,
But the other screen.
the other screen was why.
But
I'm
that's
talking
kind of what
This says coming soon to a theater near you on VHS tapes are nostalgia. I think this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't the. It was always this.
Maybe we can put
That
this
was
up on the screen.
Anyways, this is way too long of a tangent.
No, it's cool. It's fine because everything we were going to talk about Taipei for this is kind of shot out the window.
Yeah.
So
The thing that we can't talk about, which is of course the Rile ban, which is probably what everyone's here for.
yeah.
And kind of leading off what you're talking about, where talking about CL list moving forward, if
Yeah.
they're going to they have to take the Rile package out, but instead they can start playing stuff like Flam Sorcel.
Yeah.
Right? Which is, I believe, is it draw a card, then discard a card? Or is it
It's-
discard a card, then draw a card, and then draw an additional card?
Yeah, I think it's draw, discard, and then draw if the discarded card matched an omen cost.
Okay.
So
Oh.
it is
That's cool. It is
delayed
creative.
because well, it is creative, but it is basically delayed 2 turns because obviously when you're spirit,
Yeah.
you don't have any omens, and then even when you go level 1, you have to pass, make an omen, and then you
is
can
it
be able
slow
to-
or fast?
No, it's fast.
So
So
this guy, except for what he's not thinking about is the 0 cost one where you pay 3 from your hand and make something an omen right off the bat, and that can be your turn 1.
Whoa.
Turn 2.
Why don't you just beseech out your CL
and then
turn
play
that?
a fire card.
Yeah.
Prismatic Sanctuary,
Yeah.
which we can search out.
Yes, we can.
With Chamber of Reflections.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, you've seen the vision.
Yeah, totally.
This guy doesn't
I
care.
know.
So yeah, it'll be interesting because CL has I think the most like Rile-esque package still. But even like Ansel, like everyone's trying to say like, oh, Crux is dead. First off, Crux never dies. Let's be real about that.
You
Crux
can't
has
kill
been
Crux.
around since the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
It has always been rogue at worst. It has never been unplayable. And yeah, I mean, we're just gonna probably see still Crux hanging around, but with the good old Library Witch cremation package and
fluffy
hasty
shopkeep
messengers.
still.
Yeah, like there are still.
You
There
just
are-
accidentally
sorry,
held
touched
hands.
it.
Whoa. Yeah, Caven. That's all right. He feels left out.
By the way, welcome back, guys.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude, happy to be back.
Yeah,
I missed you.
I haven't seen you guys in like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
That's a long,
It is
that's a long time for us.
It's weird. Yep.
Yeah. I see you guys like as much as my wife, I swear.
Yeah.
So, yeah, happy to be back. Rile is dead.
Rile is dead.
A lot of people are talking about
Bring Lost and Thought back.
just how, if you guys watch the video, yeah, dude, no. You know how toxic that would be right now?
Bring Lost and Thought back after Rival and Thurible removed.
Yeah, bring it back.
Oh man.
Yeah, you heard it here first. That's what's happening.
yeah. Okay. I guess. How do you guys feel? Are you yay or nay for Rile ban?
Yay.
Yay.
Oh, wait. So I did.
Or it being banned.
I think I feel very torn because I think that what Rile enabled was really cool. And I think that although so many people, and we've talked about it on the podcast before and how we feel about it, I do not feel like, obviously Rile is very powerful. I can't deny that. Yeah. We've seen it time and time again. There's a reason that the Rile decks do as well as they do. It's because it's incredibly consistent. It gives you a ton of high roll potential. It lets you +2 on turn 1. Like, it's a very powerful engine. Obviously, it makes you less consistent, but...
Would you rather have it been banned like it is or have it in errata?
Oh, no erratas.
Okay.
I don't like
See,
erratas.
I know a lot of people don't like erratas.
I don't like
flat out.
erratas. I think you either play the cards the way they were built or you... Like, 3 visits to me, that was a
Should've just been
weird
banned.
situation. It should have either been fixed,
Yeah.
like completely. Which I mean, I know they errated it, but like, they should have just like changed the way, like the ruling on it or something.
Erratas are weird with GA because they do everything they can to avoid them, and so they've done bans instead of erratas. So like, if they're gonna start errataing, I'd almost like to see things come off the ban list with erratas.
Yeah,
Like Icebound Slam could come off the ban list with an errata. Baby Gray, well, maybe not Baby Gray because it got Baby Silver now.
No, bring him back.
Yeah, but like there's definitely
Draw
like
to memory.
I think there's Dissonant. Dissonant Fractal, right?
Yeah.
Take off the Glimpse.
Yeah.
That card is fine. You know, like it you know, like maybe not.
Yeah.
Make a Fantasia that's not reservable.
Yeah,
it's just a glimpse.
Yeah, something, right? Like there's
I like that a lot. Stuff.
A lot of the banned cards in GA haven't necessarily been because like they make this infinite combo loop or something like that, right? Like a lot of the bans in GA have just simply been because a card's been just a tiny bit too good, or a lot of it too good. Something like Erupting Rhapsody makes sense that it's on the ban list. That is like what I would consider a good example of a banned card.
Errata it and make it a spell. Although
maybe,
but it is a harmony or melody or whatever, and all of those are specifically skills.
But like, it is a good example of like that card does just like really limit card design and stuff like that, right? Whereas like something like Dissonant Fractal was just they just gave it
still too strong for this spell. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they just gave it too much, right? But like if they brought Dissonant back and like cut off half of its text, it would be fine, I think. Same for like Icebound Slam even. Icebound Slam was an awful card, right? Like very, very, very toxic meta. But if they brought it back and took off half the text on it, it'd probably be fine. You know, like
I think like you said, Erupting Rhapsody makes a lot of sense because of what it does for design space.
Yeah.
And by that argument, Rile is the same. Because Rile is going to make it so that every Spectre that they print has to have like that in mind, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they could errata the card and still make it fine. Maybe not. I don't know.
It's hard.
Maybe I'm just talking to talk, honestly.
No, I think you're right. Just take off half the text. So, Reckless Conversion just doesn't say banish from memory. Instead, it just says draw 2 into memory, then pick him back.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there's definitely some cards that, like, just kind of need to be banned. Because if you were to errata it, you would have to change, like, almost everything on the card, right? And, like, but like there's a lot of cards that could have been errated and just got banned instead because Weebs doesn't want to do erratas, and that's fine. I get not wanting to do erratas. I used to play DBS, right? That game had like 40 errated cards, and it was an absolute nightmare as a player getting into the competitive
personally,
scene.
I don't like erratas.
No,
So I think to answer your question, because the yay or nay. So after like careful consideration and talking to some people and like kind of getting into it, I actually am on yay now. I was definitely nay out the like we've talked about it before. Like, I didn't think Rile needed a ban, but what I think Rile did is not so much that it broke the game or did something like that, but what it does is it creates an unfair play.
This man took the words out of my mouth.
Yep. It's like it creates these super swingy, high rolly games that like new players come in, like. We've had new players come in to our locals and sit down across from Zach on Sol, and he just go, cool, turn 1, Rile, pitch double liminal guide, level up, bring them in, draw 2 cards, dungeon guide, kill you. Like stupid things like that. And like
my thing, I wanted one more event.
Oh, okay.
I think they could have waited until like after. It's a little awkward because I'll close Niagara and Auckland are.
I think that's why they probably didn't. But continue.
I think
it's a good time to ban it.
It's a good time to ban it.
If they were going
I understand, but I think they even have done. I could be wrong on this. Didn't they say? Yeah, I think it was with Baby Gray. They said it will be banned in the next BNR. I think it was that one. They said Baby Gray, and like I think they did.
But there was a reason for that.
I know there's a reason.
I can't remember what it was.
Honestly, but they can do that for. They can make it whatever reason they want.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
True, they did create the game, so they can have.
But I think I just want to see. I guess it doesn't make sense. There's like we're gonna ban it after Niagara, and everyone's like. Okay, well then why not just ban it now? Like what's the point? But anyway, I wanted to see one more big event out of it where people were actually playing Thurible, were actually trying to counter it. Because we've seen regionals leading up to this event where people, because Thurible has been out for what? Was it a month maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, we saw Siru win Taipei.
Well,
I don't think it would have done that without Thurible.
Well, I know exactly.
Yeah, I see what your point is. Yeah.
So I want to see one more event where like, okay, now everyone's like, okay, Syria's pretty good against this. It seems to be doing pretty well against these Rile decks. Okay, so let's bring Syria into the meta and see if maybe people are gonna start brewing with that because I don't think a lot of people are brewing with Syria at all.
Yeah.
And then trying that out, and then people are like, okay, well, what beats Syria? Okay, Tristan or Lux and Xander.
Tristan's already good, yeah.
And then we kind of have like a close to a triangle meta, because then a Rile deck can beat Luxem. Luxem Luxem beats Luxem.
I think it just boils down to like what Terry said though, is the player experience. Like we had Theo on the podcast recently, right? And that is something that came up, was like bans and everything. And like there's two main reasons to ban a card. One is it's breaking the game. It is just too simply powerful, and it is creating a toxic environment.
Enough people were complaining about it that they wanted.
Yeah, or two, it's the player experience where a card is not necessarily broken. You can absolutely beat it, but yeah, I mean, like literally, I was playing Water Allies down in Florida this weekend and sat against someone that went Rile, discard liminal, float, and then reduce my sensor. And I was like, oh, yeah, all right, I'll try to win this game. Like I'll play fast and like scoop it up if it's, you know, like like so I get it, right? Because like you don't want cards like that in there, and a lot of the player base wanted it gone and stuff. But yeah,
I think that the fact that it's going to create a brand new meta now. We're like 2 months in.
I'm very fine with it.
Yeah. We're all a fan right now.
It's honestly gonna be fun. I love that we're about to get a brand new meta again.
Yeah.
Like new metas are so high.
I wanted a week before Niagara.
Oh yeah. So
have it be banned.
so Caven can just panic.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been fun.
We had 3 days to test.
Have we ever had an emergency ban in this game or no?
No. Emergency errata is the closest
emergency
thing.
errata with three visits.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
That was the closest one.
What do you mean?
Like where they
emergency ban, whereas like literally we wake up one morning and they're like, hey guys, like this card's now banned, even though there wasn't supposed to be a BNR today.
I don't know if they've ever had a surprise BNR.
I don't
actually
think so.
Because even the 3 visits one, there was one that was scheduled.
They always do that for every major event.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that wasn't.
That's why they do it up.
Yeah,
they
that
do
wasn't
that
even
so that there
emergency.
are no surprises.
Yeah.
Like because we did have the errata to Stone Scale band. Same thing.
Yeah.
Like
it was right after.
came out of
right
nowhere.
after Chicago.
Right after Chicago, they did that, and they didn't ban anything.
It's a pretty healthy sign of a game.
Was that when they brought up Polaris?
Yeah.
I think that's when Polaris was made too.
Yeah.
Something like that. Man, what a good card.
I think like almost every TCG has had to do emergency bans in the past. So it's cool that GA hasn't had to do one.
Yeah, they have events
fingers crossed
frequently enough that where they can do that.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's probably part of their thing is like, hey, let's bring out a set a week or two. Well, and this time it was a little bit more before the first event.
Yeah.
That way we can see what everyone's thinking about. Oh, everyone at these regionals are talking about how much they hate this card.
Yeah.
Let's see how it does at this big event. Oh, it is pretty, atrocious, or it seems really oppressive.
Yeah.
All right, we'll ban it or put it on the list or whatever they need to do.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm yay. Are you yay? Are you nay?
My thoughts were very, very similar to yours.
Yeah.
I didn't think Rile needed to go.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm kind of happy it's gone. But like I'm also sad because it was doing really cool things for level 3 decks. Like we saw like level 3 Kongming fire decks and stuff like that, right? Like we started seeing a lot of creativity because of how good of a generic engine it was. But I was not a favor of how it made playing Grand Archive feel sometimes.
It gave a lot of level 3 decks the ability to get to level 3 really efficiently and then start doing what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Some level 3s did, start doing stuff better at level 3 than others.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
are you yay or nay?
Yeah, I'm for it, but just because it makes meme decks a little bit more viable, because I have this. Meme decks usually take a couple more turns to get online.
Yeah, true.
And this gives a couple more turns.
I will say I do like that. I feel like a lot of the elements are a little bit more balanced now going forward, right? Like, obviously, fire was overrepresented recently. Lost a lot of its juice right now, and I think like people are going to expect water to be one of the most played elements going forward.
And it's cool. We got a spoiler for the next set.
Yeah, we did get an unintentional spoiler for the next set.
Basically. Is coming out in
Yep. That was the part that surprised me the most about the ban list. When they were like, "Yeah, we've taken this away from you," I was like, "Wait a second."
I'm so glad they did that.
Print 6
No,
copies of
I am
those.
very glad they did that. I think if they hadn't taken Turbo away, Wind would have been like an 80%.
Yeah. We literally just would have went from one issue to the next.
But the ink in my printer was used.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna pay us for that?
Reimburse me my
7 cents.
I don't even know. It's real cheap. I have that special.
I'll see you in small claims.
Real small claims.
mini claim court.
But yeah, I mean, like I still think fire has juice going forward. Like I do think you can still play Onsol and stuff.
It has the juice.
And aggro decks are still just as good. Like Fire Goja KFC is not dead.
No.
It just you're not building it with the Rile package.
And if you want to see a deck list that has that, check out our video posted on Monday.
Wow, yeah.
Where there's a deck list there for
nice.
me. Yep.
Yep.
You
that was
probably
great.
saw it.
I did not watch it because I did not want to echo chamber my thoughts with the metas and stuff like that.
Yeah. I tried to keep it brief on metas. I know we're going to talk about here, but it still happened no matter what. So Fire Gouge is still very strong. You just play more burn spells or play like the Kindle package, and that's what I talk about. Was like,
man, I love
these
the Kindle
fire decks
so much,
especially the decks that we're trying to do like Philo, Fiza, Fire Gouge, Fire fill in the blank.
Yeah,
that was aggro. Instead of thinking about playing the Rile package, they go, okay, now I can just play more burn, or I can just play Kindle package. And so now people are going to be, okay, maybe a little less sensor and a little bit more lantern is something that probably will happen.
So I think like Fire is still like good. It didn't lose its identity or something like that, right? Like people are going to say like, oh, Fire's dead, Crux is dead. That is not what's going to happen.
It is not.
Fire's still going to be around. I think it will see a sharp intake off because a lot of people that were playing Fire are going to be like, oh, well, I don't have my Rile anymore. I've been wanting to try this water deck, so I'm going to play it anyways right now, right?
I think there was one or two, there's going to be 1, 2, or maybe 3 solid level 3 Fire lists.
Yeah.
It's going to be the list that we're able to, even if they didn't have Rile, still do okay and still like get to level 3 perfectly fine if they need to. Something that's really important about like CL is that they can still discard off of level 2, which can be really huge. So you could even play Liminal Guide still in with Creative Shocks, Flame Cells,
100%.
Hasty Messengers. Like,
with Hasty, Creatives,
you make
Cremation Rituals.
You make Creative an Omen after you do your Creative to pitch a floating memory, and then go level 1, make that an Omen, and then follow up that turn with Flame Sorcel and discard your Liminals and stuff. Yeah, like Sail will still be around, I think. Fire
Going
Sail.
second and still being able to go Liminal, Cremation. 8 cards pass.
Right.
Level up, go to 9.
And like now instead of running the extra, like you replace your Riles with Hasties or something, right? And so you still have a discard outlet for all of your. Now it's all of your floating memory, not even just some of it, plus your Liminal Guide and stuff. Like, I think people are going to sharp intake off of Fire, so we're going to see a dramatic reversal. But I think like once the dust settles a little bit, Fire will still be a pretty good portion of the meta. Obviously, Water got a lot better than it was before.
Thurible getting taken off really helped Water again.
And also Fire losing the I'm a high roll you crazy.
Because as someone who plays a lot of Genbu and plays a lot of Water like mill decks, it feels really bad when you're milling your Rile opponent and you're just blind milling Liminal Guides. It feels really
and Evercurrent Raiders and all that stuff, right? Yeah. But so Water
like 20 hits in their deck.
Water obviously got better, and then Wind is like the most hard to predict right now, I feel like. But I do still think it'll be good because I think when a format is more balanced between all the elements, Wind does do better because less people are main decking Nullifying Mirror, right? Because you do have to worry about Lantern now and stuff because I think there are going to be some Fire aggro decks that are popping up. Genbu might come back, so you want the Lantern for that and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's like in a more balanced meta, like Wind does kind of just like do its thing where it's like, well, you're not main decking this, so I can Veiling Stall you a little bit in game 1 and then they can
play all their tech cards. They have so many specific tech cards, and if they know a meta, they can tech for it.
I mean, Tristan's been like the
2 to 1.5 is how I put it. It wasn't tier 1. It was like just shy of being tier 1 the entire time because of being Rile.
What time? Right now
in
Rile. It's
I
interesting. I would have said it was.
It was tier 1 during.
It didn't
Rile.
win almost any events other than I think our Michigan regional, but
that weekend it won 2 regionals, I think. But the regionals are whatever.
But I don't think it just. It was short
anything of
like top 8ing like major events, and it was in day 2s. But you can't say every day 2 event deck is a tier 1 deck, right?
No, but I think that if it is a high enough ratio of decks that are being played and it is still converting day 2, it could be in the argument.
I just don't think it's tier 1. Or
sure,
I think it is now. I think it will be tier 1 now. Because I think they just kept getting too blown out. When they and I think Thurible helped, but certainly before Thurible they were lacking. I do not think it was a tier 1 deck though.
I'd have to go and look at all the stats because I mean it was like well known in the community by many people that thought Tristan was the best deck in the format, even in Rile,
and everyone said
before
that?
Thurible.
And
it was still losing. But it was losing. It was losing because I think Tristan is one of those decks, kind of like Merlin, where like. It's very flexible, and you can build it a certain way.
But the meta was so diverse
that makes it a little tough.
So that makes it a little bit worse. I don't think it was a bad deck. By any means. I just think it wasn't quite tier 1 because of how diverse our meta was.
Let's get into a fight about this.
Well, no, I'm just saying because we talked about.
I think Slimes.
We even said it was one of the best lists for for Ascent Taipei.
Yeah.
Like, we made that article or wherever, and but we had like 7 lists, but not all of them are tier 1.
Yeah.
There are a lot of them are really good lists, and I think they're like 1.5. I don't want to quite call them 2, but like
I guess I think that might be the difference. Then is what do you define a tier 1 deck?
That's what literally
because
I was
like
about to say.
in last format in Boston/Taipei format, I would literally call 8 to 10 decks tier 1.
Yeah.
Which is like that doesn't happen very often.
No.
But like I think in most formats in GA specifically, we see about 3 to 4 tier 1 decks.
Yeah.
That's on average. But I think last format genuinely had about 10 tier 1 decks.
I don't know if it's hard to say if they're tier 1 though, because you had decks that like I feel like you had the Rile decks, right? And everyone teching for these Rile decks because the Rile decks were tier 1.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have everyone teching for Rile, and is hoping that they play Rile because they're so heavily teched into them. And if they did, they had their game plan. But they played against the other decks that were also trying to beat Rile. They kind of were awkward, right, against each other. But Rile just said, even if you're trying to counter me, I'm still going to do my thing. I'm still winning, you know?
Yeah.
So like I feel like those are the tier 1 decks, and everything else is...
Tristan was the 3rd most played deck up until this ban.
Sure.
Of the champions.
But I guess
it did not probably have the 3rd best placements.
Yeah, that's
so I understand your point.
Yeah.
But I would still call Tristan a tier 1 deck in last format every day, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's all right.
Difference of opinion.
Agree to disagree.
That's the
fine.
thing is like literally everyone has a slightly different opinion of what they would call
most champ, 4th most played deck. 3rd most played champ, 4th most played deck. Sorry, continue.
Because of like
Wait, what?
water allies and stuff, and like suited Tristan and
this was with Thurible. Wait, time out. Let me see before. Let's see without Thurible. With Thurible, it was the 3rd most played.
That makes sense.
It was the 4th most played. It was the 4th most played. Still the 3rd most played champ. The 4th most played deck, because Spectre, like Lorraine, is the top played champ, but it's wind, water, and fire, and then Guoja same, and then Tristan. And then Spectre obviously is a giant portion of the meta.
It's hard to say because I don't think any.
I didn't understand anything that he said, so I'm just going to continue talking to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because like how you just define a tier 1 deck is how I would define a tier 0 deck. Like to me, a tier 0 deck is when the format is quite literally this specific deck. I'll just say Rile. I don't think Rile was tier 0, but I'm just going to use that example. Rile is tier 0. You either play Rile or you play a deck that only wins against Rile but wins almost every time. But because it's so like focused into that strategy, you lose against everything else. Yeah. And I don't think that's the meta that we were in.
But tier 0, I even think that those decks don't even have a guaranteed win against the tier 0 deck.
Yeah.
Like you have to build completely to beat it, and you still might lose.
A tier 0 format to me.
Isn't that what happened though?
No.
This would be
like if Tristan was on like Expeditious Openings, Scavenging Raccoons, Cleansing Reunions, like all of it, not just like Censor and Thurible, and then like maybe a Brackish, maybe a Cleansing.
I guess I would also just think maybe GA just inherently plays a little bit differently because you have a material deck that has like a specific like counter
for sure
playing.
Yeah.
So you don't have to. Your whole deck isn't
tier 0. So I don't know. The only tier 0 we have had actual tier 0 was Razor Gale in Toronto.
Yeah.
That's the only true tier 0 deck we ever had.
Yeah.
I think Slimes was it was so close.
It was Razor close. I definitely am guilty of calling Slimes tier 0 a few times, and I shouldn't have. I don't think.
It's very close.
Yeah, it was definitely borderline. Yeah.
When it was at full power, there was an argument.
Yeah.
Like I if you thought it was tier 0, it made sense. It didn't win. It lost the event that it was still tier 0 in. Vanitas was not going to lose.
I swear, I think before like Worlds last year, or after Worlds 2024, how do I say that? After 2024 Worlds, anything before that, I feel like everyone was bad players, including us.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about how Houston, we shouldn't have won that.
I think it took everyone a year to like who have been playing the game to actually be like, now I kind of actually understand how everything works.
Yeah.
And definitely like actual timings and like actual interactions and actual like nitpicky rules where like this one word means the difference, where it puts instances on the stack instead of it being like individual or whatever.
The game just, I think, has gotten more complex.
I know it has.
Too, for sure.
And so I think that's helped people learn too. But I think everyone was bad before then. So I think Slime's probably without the errata to Stone Scale Ban, without that, might have been pretty close to pushing actually being tier 0.
I think
if people were good players.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. I mean, I definitely look back at Chicago and I'm just like, why did I not?
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
You know, like
because even after that, we both won events.
Yeah,
with
slimes.
with errata slimes.
Yeah, with slimes at literally a lower power, and I went to win like Singapore, a 200-person regionals the week before that.
Yeah.
Like you won Auckland, I topped Auckland as well, Christchurch. Yeah, like and frankly, it was some of the easiest events that we've had because I just got to like play slimes and just
storm some people.
Yeah. And you're right. That was post Stone Scale Ban. So probably Slime's full power was probably tier 0.
It probably was.
Yeah.
Especially like if everybody was playing it. I think that at that time, a lot of people were in the same boat as us that like didn't want to play it. That were still on the like, but it's Sylvie. Like I don't want to play Sylvie.
But this is the thing is like we've been literally us three have been discussing tiers for the past like 10 minutes of this podcast or maybe even longer. And like we're some of the best players in GA and we still like I think all think about this a little bit differently than each other, right? Like, and this is true because like every TCG is different. A lot of people have different experiences in TCGs, whether it's a casual player or a high competitive player and stuff like that, right? So like everyone kind of has a different opinion on what tier 1 or tier 0 and stuff mean. So yeah, it is just like hard to like put those labels on it.
How many tiers do people say are in a meta or in a card game?
I have 3 tiers. Tier 0, I have 4 tiers. I have tier 0, I have tier 1, I have tier 1.5, and I have tier 2. If it's tier 2, it basically means it's like bad rogue / like whatever.
So that I guess I have multiple tiers, and that's probably where it's also stemming from.
Gotcha.
Like I think there's tier 0, but to me tier 0 is like Vanny.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
And
full power slimes maybe.
Yeah. And then like, and tier 1 is a deck that is really good, or I guess an archetype in this case.
Yeah,
that is so good that everyone is pretty much running a decent amount of tech for it.
Yeah,
both in main and probably a couple extra inside to help out with it. And then, but they still just do their game plan and they win. And then I have like, when I say tier 0.15 is like I don't know where I can't put on 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But 2 is like I guess it is rogue decks, but they're like solid decks. Like they're I guess I don't know if that rogue might be also a wrong term for me. But like tier 2 decks are like they're solid. Like they can take down a sense even.
What would you call Discord Kitten's last format?
Like a 3 or a 4.
Okay, I don't even go that low.
See, exactly. Well, that's what I was getting to. I go down to those tiers.
So for me, if a deck is going to hold a decent portion of the meta share, it is a tier 1 deck in my brain. Like, if it could win an event and I wouldn't be like, you snap.
Yeah.
You do that deck just won?
You do it specifically on how many people play it?
That makes a big difference. It doesn't necessarily define it.
Yeah.
But if there was a deck that I thought was tier 2, but it was 18% of Ascent Taipei, then very clearly I was wrong.
Yeah.
And it is a tier 1 deck because it is being represented at that number. But for me, tier 1 basically just means that it is a very strong deck that would not surprise me if it took down major events, and it is represented by a large part of the meta share.
What about I'm gonna call you out on purpose here.
Yeah, I love it.
Funny. About a week ago on on a podcast or one of our things we sit down we did. I think you called Water Lies tier 1. Would you still call it that?
I said it was definitely in a tier 1 spot. I think I still think that that deck is
Water Lies is tier 1.
Yeah, I would put it in tier 1 based off of just
weekend you played. That's all I meant.
Yeah. Oh God, that's why I played it. But I think that for me, like I said, if it's the biggest part for me is that if it would win an event and I'd go, nope, that makes sense. Like this is the absolute most like
generic
variation, generic. Like there's not a fine define to it. It's like for me personally, if I just think it can win, then it's a tier 1 deck.
Okay, this is a really good example because he's talking about like it doesn't matter if a deck's really good or really bad. If the meta is playing it, that does impact what tier it falls into.
Yeah.
And a really good point that I just thought of was Fractals. Last Nat season Fractals, right? That deck was actually probably borderline tier 0.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a lot of competitive players taking Fractals to every event and
topping
like
every
dude,
event.
literally Ocean Nats. I'll say it again, man.
Yeah.
I felt like I could have played 30 rounds and not dropped a game.
Yeah.
Like that is a tier 0 deck. And like granted, I was just like really comfortable with the build and all that kind of stuff.
I don't remember Ocean Nats.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That makes sense.
That made a second. I was like, what? Why don't I remember?
What happened? I was there.
I was like, did I not go?
Yeah. Oh, you were there.
Okay, so the more I think about it, I think we've had one true Tier 0 format that no one can argue, and that's
Toronto.
Razor Gale, right?
Yeah.
Because
Chicago. No,
because Razor Gale literally was like, yeah, I mean,
It was play it or lose.
it was
That's Tier 0.
less than 50% of the field brought it day one, yet 90% of the field day two was Razor Gale, and then it was 7 out of 8 spots in the top 8, right? Like, clearly, those are stats that you just can't argue with. That is a defined Tier 0 format.
Yeah.
I think pre-errata slimes and Nats fractals was like arguable Tier 0 formats, because pre-errata slimes, I just don't think enough good players like
Committed to it.
Yeah.
You know,
There were a lot of
did not like
a lot of good players said, I'm gonna play Tristan.
Yeah, and Tristan was still full power.
That's literally
we
what
had
I
Outlook.
did.
We had
That's what a
Outlook
ton
and-
of other people did. Yeah, Tristan was still like really good. Anyways, did we have Outlook still?
not in Fractal meta.
No,
we're
in
talking
Slimes.
Slimes.
Meta.
Oh, Slimes.
Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Did
we
we
did.
still have Outlook?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, but so that I think pre-errata slimes was still Tier 0, and I think that the community just didn't commit quite all the way there.
Yeah.
A lot of them did, like Chess Club, for example. They just went, Slimes is obviously the best deck. They all played it, and they had a lot of success.
And not many people were experimenting with the list.
Yeah.
People are like, put all the slimes in. It doesn't feel great. It feels pretty okay sometimes, but like just didn't put like the second people put in Songbird.
Yeah, it changed.
Yeah,
that
Songbird, changed a lot of things. I mean, that was still in the format that people were testing, like Meta Bloom Dryad and stuff, which like post Stone Scale Band errata, everyone was like, yeah, that's not it. And like we literally had the same 56 cards in the main deck of slimes
58.
it was a 58. Yeah, it was. Yeah. We were literally going from event to event, regionals, ascents, all this stuff, changing out 2 baby blues to 2 ordinary bears to 2 actions to like, it was literally a 58 card list. Which is why when Neelix cheated with 56 cards at our locals, we were like, this is a busted list. What the heck? Because he wanted to run like 56 to 58.
He
accident.
He did not mean to.
His Omnidex ID is not. No, a total accident. It was just a very funny moment to us because of how things were back then. But yeah, so anyways, all of this to just say, I think actually Water Fractals was dangerously close to Tier 0 format, because if you think about it, a lot of players, again, just like Slimes, didn't like Fractals. And so a lot of the pro players just didn't want to play Fractals. And so you didn't have 70 to 80% of the people bringing it or something. I went to Oceanats, didn't drop a single match. It was the first undefeated run in event history in this game. I came home. Self. No, but like for real though, like I went to a nationals event, had our first undefeated run, came home, wrote an extensive Patreon article about it, literally giving away every single secret, talking about every single tip, trick, sideboard guide, what I might change for NA Nats, like everything. I was teaching Noel and by extension Chess Club every trick we had, right? Like we were giving the farm away with that deck. We have never done that extensively before. We posted like the Water Arasana self-mill before Santa Clara on our Patreon, but that was just like a 30-minute deck profile, right? Like it was like good, but it was nothing like
that.
Almost frankly coaching level like teaching to the community as a whole, or at least anyone that was part of our Patreon, right? And what happened? Fractals still took down NA, right? Like it was every single player in that room knew I have to main Scatter Essence and sideboard extra cards and stuff. And this is exactly how to play against this deck. This is exactly the deck list that I'll see. And like it still dominated that event. So to me, that's a Tier 0 deck, right? Because Fractals was the deck to beat. People were teching very specifically for it, just like they are with Rile as well. But I think Rile is seeing a little bit less success, right? Like, well, I mean, what was NA Nats? Was NA Nats still like 5 or 6 Water Fractals, right?
It was
something like that.
It was Perfy, Garuthos, you, Mitch, Taylor, and then it was Korax
on Windluxum, and then 2 Gambu players,
Yeah,
so it's still 5 out of 8.
Yeah,
whereas like we just had Taipei, which is
then at Worlds.
I mean, and then Worlds was a complete blowout, right? Because
people didn't respect it.
Fractals lost something and they said, oh, it's not Tier 0 anymore, and they stopped respecting it. And then we went, oh, if you're not explicitly building to beat it, we're gonna roll you,
Yeah.
you know. And like now it's different again, right? But anyways, all that just to say, like, if you look at Rile, I don't think it's a tier 0 format because like people aren't teching for Rile as hard as they were for like fractals, because wind decks could, oh man, could they tech for fractals, right? Like wind decks now are like, maybe I'll run 1 or 2 cleansing reunion, but then I'll run like Thurible and Censor, which like Thurible's already just a backup charger for their deck. So it's like
before Thurible though.
Even before it, they were still not running as much hate.
Yeah.
Just Censor, right? Censor and maybe a couple cleansings. Maybe a Brackish Ludus. Maybe
they were doing cleansings and stuff like that.
Right. So, I mean, it's still like
a little bit of hate.
Me playing
but it's kind
a Rile deck into any deck right now, I feel way less scared about me playing Fractals against Wind Luxem that I know is maining 4 Scatter Essence and siding 3 Vertigus Decree, right? Like those sometimes just literally felt unwinnable. And so like, I fail to think that this is a tier 0 deck.
I think a perfect, like,
I don't think anyone was calling it tier 0.
Yeah, well, some people were. A lot of people were talking about Rile.
You're getting amped, so I thought you were saying that I was calling it tier 0.
I don't know. I'm feeling a little like ready to fight you, honestly.
I think
I don't think I was saying it was tier 0.
No. Fractals, like you're saying, I think that's like a really good point. And I think that the reason that deck wasn't tier 0 is because you could hate it out, to me.
Yeah, but that's still a tier 0.
Like, that's why I don't think it was tier 0.
His tier 0 is different.
We have different tier 0s.
Because I explained mine is like,
I go down to tier 4. So
it doesn't matter if you hate against it. You're still gonna lose to it a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And obviously it's gonna win every event.
I'm not saying that a tier 0 deck is like, if you build a deck that completely counters it, you have like a 70% win rate against it. I'm saying like maybe you have a 50-50 or a 60-40 or something, right? Like the only decks that are favored into this deck, even by a small margin, are decks that are explicitly built to beat it and are going to have a really hard time against anything else. Because Wind Luxem with 4 Scatter Essence in the main and 2 Verdigris in the main and Mystic Purifiers in the main, they're going to struggle against the Fire Aggro deck, right? Like we saw that happen at Indian Nats and stuff. And so like that's tier 0 to me. But we just have different.
Because what I was going to say, and kind of like the perfect example of this is like we just had Boston, right?
Yeah.
And like Fire Vanitas at that event
was tier 0. Yeah.
It's not tier 0 deck. And it can 100% be hated out hard.
Yeah.
But it's still strong. It's still very strong. Honestly, even without Rile, it's probably still a strong deck. I don't think we're going to have as many level 3 all-in decks like we did. So it's not going to have the meta share. It's just not needed. It's going to be an Umbra Diana-esque deck that, hey, if everybody's going level 3 and being slow, these are going to be really good, right? But it's not tier 0. But it had that same Fractals effect where like nobody knew nobody respected. Obviously, a lot of people didn't know about it, but nobody had the hate to fight it because everybody was being so greedy. And then this deck just came out and Chess Club rolled everybody with it. And but yeah, definitely not a tier 0 deck. I just meant that had the kind of similar effect, right?
Yeah,
like that. It's not the same, but
yeah. I would call Vanitas tier 0 for that one event.
Yeah. Because of how everybody built and how everything is. I think that deck was gonna win most of its matchups, and even the decks that had decent matchups into it were still gonna lose to it sometimes. And that's that in my brain, right? What makes it. But all of that being said,
what decks do you think you'll see?
That's what I want to talk about. That's where I want to head, and I think everybody wants to hear us head too.
Yeah.
Is just what do we think the meta, like what is going to happen moving forward?
Tristan's gonna be tier 1.
That's hey, we're back. Tristan, for the first time, in Isaac's opinion, it's going to be tier 1.
No. I think it was tier 1 with Thurible. I just think before Thurible it wasn't.
Gotcha.
That's all I was saying.
Yeah, like never, even with Korhazi.
Yeah, never was it a tier 1 deck. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Never in history.
Yeah, never in history.
Just specifically the past month with
Thurible. That's it.
I feel like this is such a disappointing podcast for everyone.
No,
this is great. So excited to hear us talk about the Rile Ban, and instead it's me ranting about what tier 0 means for 20 minutes, and then us just two going on like tangents.
That's okay.
As well.
That's on brand.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about this because now people are going to get what they want.
Yeah.
So we're going to give them a little bit of time
and timestamp here.
Yeah. Welcome back. We're sorry for that rant if you weren't into that. Honestly, I think we talked about a lot of cool stuff and a lot of things that people will be interested in. But I am so excited for the meta moving forward. Yeah. That's definitely coming from a dirty water player who loved playing water for the last 2 seasons. So
you also love playing fire aggro. And you also,
what else do I love?
You love a lot.
Those are two things I love more than anything else.
You love a lot of decks, which is cool.
Yeah,
you're like so enthusiastic about the deck.
I love decks, dude. I think I just love GA, to be honest.
Yeah,
and like, and I'm so glad that I still have that fire because we've played a lot of GA. We've traveled a lot for GA. And we make a lot of GA content. I think it'd be easy to be burnt out and not like this game anymore. And I think that's one of the reasons this game's so great is that I still love it. It's you crazy. And I were literally, we played in an event, decks we hated. By the next morning, we were like, dude, all I want to do right now is play GA. Like if I had cards here, we wouldn't even do anything today. We'd just test.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So like, I'm super excited for that and where this meta. So that being said,
what's your number one list?
Genbu.
You think Genbu's gonna be the strongest?
I think Genbu is maybe not the strongest, but it's definitely gotten way stronger.
Yeah.
It's one of the. It's gonna have the biggest leap, in my opinion.
Sure. Uptick in win rates and
because it was having a little bit of a harder time against Rile because of the like what we just talked about earlier in this. When you're milling liminal guides and you're milling floating every time they flip a card, it's tough. Especially when they are also riling and creative shocking way extras, and so now they're leveling up for free. They already get to level 3. Like with 7-ish cards, if they had a good run. With Genbu, they're getting to 3 with 10 cards in hand. So like sometimes if they high roll you and you're milling them. But now that that's not going to be as intense, I think that it will definitely have a big uptick. And Thurible being gone is also very good for Genbu because that alone, when Thurible came out, as you guys know, like I don't think it's a secret anymore. I was going to play Genbu in Boston. I was very high on Genbu. I thought the deck was still very, very good. I felt very passionate that deck could fight Rile decks because I thought it also had good matchups against the Wind decks and it was pretty even. Like, yeah, maybe some were a little, but like pretty close to 50-50 across the board. Then Thurible came out and I went, now we have maybe 50-50 at best against the Rile decks and the Wind decks beat us.
Yeah.
And now with that, Genbu is it's just too risky to play this deck. But now that Thurible's gone, now that Rile's gone, Genbu, which was arguably the strongest deck at the end of last format before DTR, towards the end, after the bans of fractals and everything else, the deck was.
Everyone was teching for it.
Yeah, I mean the deck was super powerful. And, I think that it is the obvious choice, and that's why I think it'll have the biggest uptick because people are gonna go. This is a hot take. And a lot of people have been talking about this, but we don't have that many good deck builders in this game right now.
I agree.
With not enough people are brewing, not enough people are trying to figure stuff out. So the first thing that players are going to do right now is they are going to revert back to the deck that was the best before Rile was the best.
I want to say, frankly, I don't even think we're that good at deck building.
We don't put enough time into it.
I've been cooking lately.
You have been.
Yeah, you have been. Actually, your list's been a little spicy.
You know why?
Why?
My brain has finally stopped. I've had so much break from competitive play.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I used to do a lot of decks before when I started doing hardcore competitive.
We used to be building decks together like every day.
Constantly.
We would send 2-3 lists back and forth.
Yeah.
All the time.
And so I haven't done competitive play, so my mind's just going, ooh, what about these cards? What about these cards? I never gotten stuck on, this package works in this deck. I should try to implement it in this style deck. And, that just didn't work. It's like, let me just try something brand new. And it's been fun. And I've gotten a lot of, I think, decent lists, a lot of bad lists, of course. But I only send you guys the at least tier 3 and above.
Yeah. And I think
that... not the tier 4 lists.
I think that we are good deck builders when we're committed.
To
deck building.
I was gonna follow up with a caveat that like we've absolutely put some great decks out there. Like we fine-tuned some decks to a T.
I think that's what we do better than anybody. Yeah, that's the reason we are successful.
Really well. But it's because we take like a lot of time and grinding to get to
the refined list really well. I don't think I have that. I might have a. What about this random tech card?
It's something that it's something that I teach in coaching is like when I'm playing, I am like if I'm like thinking about like 2 different cards.
Would this card be better?
Like if I'm like, okay, like here's a real easy example. Let's say I am running all the baubles, fire, wind, water bauble, and I have 2 in the main, 1 in the side. When I am playing a tournament or whatever, if I go to regionals or something, or even locals, I'll consciously note, okay, I had fire and water in the main. Did I need wind more often? Right? Yeah. Which one did I use the least? Which one would I've wanted? Yeah. And
I played against water. Did I even bring it out?
Yeah, and like that's like a real easy example, obviously. But it extends into a lot of different like situations, and it's a really really good deck building thing that I like teaching and like explaining a lot more in depth in coaching and stuff. But I love that part, and that's like how you refine a list and stuff. But like frankly, we aren't very creative. I don't think that we often bring this like new build very often. I think we used to maybe a little bit earlier in the game, but that's also because there wasn't as many deck builders back then. So like it was just more inevitable that we would discover something because there was more left to be discovered. But yeah, like we do.
I mean, we have brought many of the decks that have been attacked by the ban list to the meta.
No, for sure.
And so I think that I don't think that we are bringing like tons of really cool ideas, but I do think that pound for pound, we have found a lot of the best decks.
Yeah.
And that would be, okay, OG Wind Allies, we're not going to talk about that list. That was something. That was a sick deck. Thanks for building that the first time you ever played GA. But then we kind of,
we kind of did create Water Allies.
We did Water Allies. Yeah,
there were other people at the
that were
same
doing
time.
it.
So, and when I built the list, I didn't know other people were on the list.
Yeah.
I literally took our Wind Allies list and said, what's basically the same thing but in water.
Yeah, and then, we did that. You did that list, and then I found the stupid interaction with Dungeon Guide when like you could just 8 people with it.
Yeah.
And when I was trying, I was like, wait a second, you can just burst people down with this. And then you guys were like, well, pardon my language, I almost said it. Dispersion and going to Crux was like what you guys were like.
I was so high in dispersion.
I know, like
dispersion,
but it was so good, and I watched you win games. Going into top 8 at the top tables of Auckland because it could get around Majestic Spirit. And so like
I literally, it was like my winning in, or like I had one more round, but like this was guarantee me. And I was like, I literally, you thought I was going to lose because like he had Majestic Spirit. I had nothing on board. I'm level 3, but every turn I brought out a sword, and then every turn I was just cycling. I was like dispersion. And then I top deck, I go play it.
Kill you.
And the guy goes, no, I have spell strike. I go, no, it says choose. And he goes, what?
That situation was crazy. But yeah, so Water Allies. After that, we played. Was Tristan the next deck we brought to the forefront? Because I think you played Water Allies for a while.
Ontario, we just played Water Allies. I mean, you know what? Yeah, I guess if you think about it, we
find the list at least.
We did find the list. So like
other teams brought it too.
Yeah, like Sean was on a.
It was like us and Sean.
Yeah. So like. Yeah, I guess we've innovated a lot of lists. I don't want to sit here and be like, "Oh, we're the best. We created. We've the ones that have single-handedly created everything."
But again, even when we make those lists, it's because we refine them down to at least a decent amount before the event. So it's usually, especially at the beginning of a set, it's better than anyone else's amount that they could refine.
Yeah.
So even if the deck wasn't the best out of all of them in the room, it's the most refined, and so it's going to flow the best, and that's going to be consistency.
That is definitely where, like you said, where we thrive as players and as a team. We're not finding we're not testing Fire Vanitas. Like that's not a deck that's on our radar. If we were playing like we used to play, it's something we would have 100% probably at least thought about.
Yeah.
But we just, with how much, the kind of the path we've decided to take, as everybody knows this season, and like we really have taken a step back from the hyper competitive, nonstop 40-hour-a-week testing and sometimes doing content. Now we've kind of reversed that.
Oh, dude, for Boston, I barely played against every tier 1 deck. Like, I had maybe a couple of reps max. And Wind Crux was a cool list.
Yeah, Wind Crux. People are still playing Wind Crux.
Yeah,
Water Arsana. That was a big one.
Yeah.
Everybody
main deck was also still on that.
Everyone's on Vanitas. Everyone's on Fract. A lot of people are on Fractals.
Yeah. We definitely refined.
I literally can't remember any other.
Those are pretty much all our decks.
Once Razorgale was around, that's when the community started. There were a lot more players finding that kind of stuff.
And figuring out.
Yeah.
That's when we started to realize it. We weren't the only people anymore. It wasn't like, hey, we find the best deck, so we're going to roll the first event of the tournament.
Because we found Vanitas pretty early on in the format, and I thought for a bit that we might be the only ones that figured it out. And then as the event got closer and closer, we were like, definitely not. Yeah, definitely not. And then we still built our list not as mere techie as other people, which was a mistake. We underestimated the sheer amount of people. I knew other people would be on Vanitas, didn't think as many people would be on Vanitas, and we still wanted something that was going to just get us to day 2 because we figured the average player wouldn't have figured it out. So we were like, okay, we want something that still gets us up there. And is more fitted for a whole field. And there were other Vanitas players that said, I'm going to put 10 cards in my list that beat other Vanitas. It's like, okay, fair.
Honestly,
it was the right call.
It was whose? Theirs or ours?
Theirs.
Okay. Honestly, I'm okay with ours because I played against so many Nikos.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
And that's
I just played mirrors all day.
I played like 4 or 5 Nikos. It was ridiculous. And I'm so glad we built our list the way we did because I would not have beat them otherwise.
So that all tangent aside.
Wow. Yeah.
Genbu.
Yeah.
And then my other deck off the top of my head that I think is going to be, that I think is also going to be, and you guys might think I'm memeing, but suited.
Yeah, I was gonna say that if you did it.
Yeah. Like suited it was already powerful into the Rile decks.
Yeah.
I think that it can compete. I think obviously it has a harder time against the Crux Lorraine lists. Just because of, but they do, like, Mortal Ambition's a great way to fight it. Suited Trickery is a great way to fight it.
Because I don't know the matchup because we actually didn't test that one, which was Wind Luxem into with Art of Wars and Ensnare.
So that is the last thing I was going to say, because that deck was non-existent.
Yeah, exactly.
That deck coming back makes both of the first two decks that I said get worse.
Yeah.
And so maybe we're going to start to see some of that more now. Where like this deck beats this deck, this deck beats this deck.
Suited could be in a really good position though, because like I said, I think a lot of people are going to just fall off fire right away. So you're going to lose the amount of Crux flame sweeps that are coming at you, which is one of Suited's biggest struggle. And then also a lot of Fire level 3 decks were running Resolutes, multiple of them, because it's one of Fire's only defensive cards.
Yeah.
And which is a really good card against Suited. So I think Suited just like kind of naturally gets better right away. I'm not sure how long it'll adapt I'm not sure how long it'll survive with the meta adapting, but yeah.
But those are decks that I think are going to be pretty good. What do you think?
I'm going to have a wild pick here.
Yeah.
I think it did get better, and I think we'll see more of it, especially since Rile's no longer as crazy and those decks aren't, which is specifically Wind Ari.
Yeah.
I think Wind Ari is really good. Unfortunately, now it is pretty much just a nerf to their Polaris.
Yeah, because Reduce isn't as popular anymore.
Yeah, but I think we started seeing some really cool lists with Chamber of Reflections and people playing Black Market Gloomspire Black Market in Wind Ari, and that was really
pretty cool.
With Serene Spirit.
The biggest concern I would have is water probably gets a lot more popular, so Fracturize is a little rough.
Exactly.
Someone was actually messaging me. They were like, "Yo, do you think your Infi Astra combo is like really good now in this meta?" I was like, "No, because you're just gonna get Fracturized. Like, it's still good. I'm not. Again, another deck that I wouldn't be like amazed if it won a regionals or something.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah." I think this has been a really great podcast, but just like,
we've been a little crazy.
We haven't stuck to the topic that we should have been sticking to, but I think overall this has been a fantastic podcast.
I guess you had 2 decks. I'll do 2 decks.
Yeah, give me one, and then I want to hear if there's anything else he's got.
And then you'll do 2 decks.
I guess I technically did 3 if you count Art of War.
I also brought it up.
Yeah, okay, cool. So we'll share that one.
2.5.
Yep.
Gosh, I can't even think of any other decks. Go ahead. I'll come up with some other ones.
I'm coping probably, but I think Fire Seal and Water Seal are going to be tier 1. Fire Seal, like we've already talked about, Flame Sorcel, and just a million other ways to build it. And Water Seal as well. Kind of just going back to us, like as a community deck building, I think Seal just has so much to explore, and people kind of like hopped on the Baleful train right away, which is strong. Don't get me wrong, but like, it's not the only way.
It's strong, don't get me wrong. Sorry, it just sounded a little musical there.
I like that.
But yeah, it's just not the only way to build Seal. And I was like, again, that's why I was so excited to see Sean's list.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
Super cool.
These are all really strong cards that just haven't been
explored.
Yeah, they haven't been explored. So personally, I'm definitely going to be just like trying to innovate Seal. If you're getting into Grand Archive and you are like deck building is one of your favorite parts of the game, main Seal. Yeah. Like there is so much to explore with him. He is absolutely one of the best champs in the game.
Yeah, easily.
And he's just not explored enough yet.
I always want to say profession.
Mastery.
His mastery is so good. It is nuts good.
Just by going Seal level 1 through 3, you get to a point where basically you can do 5 damage no matter what.
And draw cards.
Yeah. Like, you have to pair with an attack card or a weapon or something, but you can literally fit a guaranteed weapon in your mat deck. Like, there's not many champions that have had that. So, like,
it's good.
It's so open, man.
It's very
there's
good.
so much with him. I keep wanting to build level 3 decks, but I think there's a lot of like Seal level 1 decks out there too. Yeah, that just really haven't
like Wind Seal, I think gets really good again.
Yeah.
Just like play 3/4s and heavy swing them. Yeah. And it's like I think that's really good again.
Yeah.
We saw that at a couple of events. My sleeper pick is going to be, well, not sleeper. I think people are probably thinking about it already, which is Diana in general.
Yeah, Water Diana.
That's right.
I was literally going to bring up after you guys said it, I said Water Diana is so good now.
We haven't seen Wind Diana at all. I don't think that'll be the strength, but I think Fire Diana, like just aggro, and then
I love that deck so
Water
much.
Diana will definitely see play.
I think Fire Lorraine still good, right?
Yeah,
like there's so like dude,
Fire
The
aggro.
meta,
it's
the meta
crazy
is
'cause
still
I think,
just
I think
huge.
the meta was open
And
in
I
Rile
think it's
format,
just as open.
but I think it might even be more open now, right? And like
the big bad is just going to shift a little bit.
people didn't realize. A lot of people thought we were not in as open of a meta as we were, but we were. You know, like it was a little disguised.
Yeah,
you know?
they're all tier 0 lists.
Yeah, everything's tier 0, baby.
All right.
That all being said, guys, thank you for hanging out with us today. Like, Rile is dead. The big bad is died. I think a lot of people are happy. That's the big thing from today.
Yeah.
But there are still a lot of decks that you can play. Don't feel bad like if you own Liminal Guides either. I think Liminal Guide is still an incredibly powerful card.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were really stressed out about that.
If you want to hear more about that, is that on our champion membership? So if you want a YouTube membership or a Patreon later this week,
we're gonna talk about Spectres in Rile's place.
Oh, yep. Perfect.
Not
Rile, yeah.
Yep.
Spectres in general.
Yep.
Yeah, so we will see you guys over there. And thank you again. Why don't you walk us out, Isaac?
we'll see you guys over there. Thank you again. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Grand Archive TCG Team True podcast. Sounds better, right?
You just murder it, bro. I love it. I love it.
You have one job, Isaac.
I'll talk for the rest of it.
You just have one line, man.
All I have to do is say that and the reins off to you two.
That's all it is. One line.
You got to give yourself a few minutes now.
No, it's great. He's ready.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, get a drink. I'm going to take a drink. Where's my...